Hey guys, welcome back for round two. Just looks like we'll be on the draw again. Waiting for the opponent to show up. So this is we don't have a one drop, but we got all our mana base. We got some interaction, so we're gonna keep this. It's not as fast as we like to be. Our opponent's mauling down to 6, so that's always a good thing to see. It's Affinity. Tough matchup game one. Tough matchup game one. We do have quite a few sideboard cards game two, so we're going to go ahead and kick things off with a preordain here. We've got enough lands. Excellent. Not what we wanted to draw, but we did bottom those two, so hopefully we can draw some more action. So he's just got he's doing what Affinity does here, which is just vomits their whole hand on the board very quickly. If he's got a Thought Cast, it's looking like. If he's got any 4/4 creatures, we're going to be in trouble. But we do have the counterspell next turn. He doesn't have a clock, fortunately, so we've got some time to dig our way out of this. Okay, it's going to swing in for 2 here. As long as he doesn't play anything too threatening, we're still okay. I think we go ahead and... no, I don't want to cycle this yet because we put 2 lands on the bottom, so I think we just draw. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's unfortunate, but what we can do is put these, we can draw this Gush and then fetch away before the next draw step. Because Gush is a very, very powerful card. And if he doesn't make a move here, he's got to make a move at some point. If he just keeps passing, so now we're going to actually get to do this on his end step, which will save us a mana for my turn. We don't need to stop on my upkeep anymore. And now we draw Miscreant, so that's great. Okay, we have a way to utilize this ninja now. And I think he's got all the colored sources. We don't need to pull the trigger on this bolt just yet. We can be patient with it. There's not a lot of interaction that they can use to protect their creatures from a bolt. They can fling in response, but that's okay. It's going to swing in for 2 here. I'm okay with that. So we're just going to go get another island here. Thin that deck out a little bit more. And now we can move in with this ninja. So I'm expecting him to have a Gallop Blast, and if he has a Gallop Blast, I'm just going to let that resolve, I think. Because, okay, he doesn't have a Gallop Blast. I have no idea what's going on in that hand. But we've still got Counterspell up, and now we've got a ninja on the board, so he's got to do something. Prof Prism to redraw. So I'm expecting like 3 Mirror Enforcers to come down this turn. Thoughtcast, it's not great for him to cast that, but I think we'd rather just counter the payoff cards than the Thoughtcast itself. There's a lot of air in the Affinity deck, so if they draw like more Springleaf Drums or other 1-drops, we can they can trip over themselves a lot of times.
Real talk, there are so many games where I've drawn all 4 Springleaf Drums, and it is the worst. You try and justify it to yourself, being like, oh, maybe I can still draw
Okay,
ATOG.
so we've got to counterspell that card. That is a very powerful card, but we'll probably see some Mirror Enforcers hitting the table now. Okay, that's okay. We can't really swing in with our ninja now, which sucks. Unless we draw a Scred, that would be great. No spread. So I think we're going to go ahead and lead with this gush. We just need some action here. We can't just do nothing on this turn. Okay, so that's okay. We've got another draw. Lightning bolt. So we can actually double bolt this forger and get this ninja engine back online. I think that's the line that we're going to take here. And we've still got counterspell mana up. We're going to go ahead and just cycle this and thin out the deck. We've drawn so many lands. We've only got 2 more lands left in our deck. So this is a little bit unfortunate, but we do have the ninja now. So get some quality cards. Pretty insured to get some quality cards from here on out. And that's still going to be great. So just like last game, we're going to sandbag at least 2 lands in Evolving Wilds. He's going to scoop it up. That's great. Game 1 is definitely the hard game for us, so for us to steal that is huge. Now you're going to see 3 Gorilla Shamans coming in, 2 Swirling Sandstorms, and I bring in the Hydroblast to hit their Atogs. There's even an argument to bring in the Pyroblast to hit their Gearseeker Serpent. It's the only thing that all of these cards that it's the only thing that I don't have an answer to in my deck unless I counter it. So, you could theoretically bring it in as a one of. This Echoing Truth also seems pretty good to bring in. I think the Echoing Truth gives us a little bit more versatility than the Pyroblast, because you can bounce 3 Mirror Enforcers in a pinch if you need to. So what we're going to board out, once again, we're going hardcore control. So ninjas are great for closing out a game, but they have a lot of 4/4s, so we're going to cut some of those. We're going to cut all of the Miscreants. They're not great. We're not really trying to race them. We're just trying to grind them down. I think it's going to be at least 1 counter spell. I may make that 2, because they're just so fast. It's hard. Yeah, I think it's going to be another counter spell here, because we're bringing in the Hydroblast, so we have some counter spell still. And we have a ton of removal now, so that really just leaning the deck out to do what we want to do. All right, let's go ahead and go into game 2 here. So we don't have a red source, but we have a Ponder and a Preordain. So I think we're going to keep it and just try and find it. We have a lot of ways to dig for it. And if we find it, he's got a Great Furnace, so it's not a Citadel, and we found it. So I'm just going to go ahead and lead off of that. So I think it's going to be better to sandbag this card a little bit longer and blow up multiple lands than just blowing up 1 next turn. So we're just going to dig with our Preordain and Ponder and try and find some more lands. And we found that land, so let's see here. I think we're just going to fetch for a blue source and cast a Preordain here.
I think that's good. Maybe you've already explained it, but running a Gorilla Shaman here, if they have Galvanic Blast, it's such a blowout.
Yeah, I did explain that already. So I told them we're going to wait till next turn to get a little bit more out of it. It might just be play this and hold up bolt, and if I don't need to bolt, I can fetch at the end. That gives me a little bit more wiggle room to deal with whatever they might be doing this turn. So we're going to fetch away anyways. We want that snow-covered island. We don't. We're going to fetch away, so that doesn't really matter. We're going to put that on top. And then we're going to pass the turn here. The island's great because now we don't need to cycle the Ash Barrens at the end of turn. We have a land drop, so we can use this bolt a little bit more freely.
Before they played the Prism, I might have considered bolting the Germ, because then that would force them to use the Carapace Forger.
Yeah, to tap anything. That makes sense. I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
think right now the line is going to be Augur on my turn. Hold up Bolt so I can block Bolt. We don't need to blow out their lands just yet. Actually, it might just be worth it to blow them out. They have a lot of mana still. It's not going to be that big of a blowout to do that.
Right, the drum makes it a lot harder.
So I think we just try and... No, I think... Yeah, I think we just go ahead and play this Augur. Scred's great, so now we'll have an answer to any other 4/4s. I'm still on the block Bolt plan, but the Scred will allow me to take out any other Mirror Enforcers or Forgers that are going to come into play. ATOG would be pretty devastating here.
That's a pretty good sign. Oh, no, I guess it's a Gear Seeker.
It's either a Gear Seeker or just the draw two cards.
Um,
But Scred is actually an answer to the Gear Seeker. Okay, so he's just going to go ahead and equip there. So he's very afraid of Scred.
well, now you could block. No, you can't block Scred.
No, I can't block Scred, but I can block Scred next turn. But I think I'm okay to take this 5. And we're going to G-Sham him out here. I'm going to bolt. I'm probably going to bolt that. Just keeping him off of creatures seems good right now. So we're going to G-Sham him right here and take him off of red and blue. This is, I mean, I guess he'll still have it, but that's definitely what we're going to do here. We'll go for the red sources first. And this is fine. This is what we knew was going to happen. We're still going to go ahead and move forward with our plan. So this is essentially going to be a 4-for-1.
And you're also just denying him like ATOG fuel too.
Right, ATOG fuel, and now if he wants to, it might cause him to tap his Carapace Forger for mana instead of swinging in. It's just great tempo, and that was really just a great time to do it. Okay, I'm okay with that too. So he's got no cards in hand. He's really relying on this Forger, which we've got Scred to deal with. So the best card he can draw here is a Fling. Like he can't even attack and Fling.
Right.
So we're pretty covered on any draws here. And we have the Counterspell backup. So we've got Scred plus Counterspell. If he happened to draw anything to protect the Carapace Forger, another Pyroblast, for example, or a Hydroblast, I guess. So we're going to go down to 5, but I think we're in a pretty safe spot now. We're going to go ahead and Scred this guy. And that's probably going to be game. Yeah, that's definitely game.
Do you keep the Gorilla Shaman here to start going after?
Yeah, you just start picking apart everything. Then we're going to have to draw one of those lands, but the other one we can fetch before we draw. So we're not entirely locked into that.
Because everything on his board except for the Darksteel is subject to the Gorilla
Right,
Shaman. So
exactly.
you could counter whatever this.
And yeah, that's fine. This is all fine. So let's go ahead and cycle this up.
Is there a benefit to getting another mountain here?
I'm probably just gonna get another island. The deck, you don't really need that many mountains. Yeah, I won't have Scred online for this turn, but I will. I'm just gonna destroy 2 things. And I guess just 1 thing is all I can do, but I do want to hold up this Counterspell. He's just gonna scoop it up, which makes sense. So very quick game 2. It's looking good for us, and we'll see you guys back here for game 3.